Hello, Doc Boffin here. Today I'm recording a final of the Combat Cards tournament that we're playing in Europa. We hold a tournament every Sunday at 2 PM. Please come along to win some prizes. And this is actually a rematch of the final, because in the first version of the final, the first attempt, it was actually a draw. Both players ended up dead at the end of the match. So this is the rematch. Now, Khansus is drawing cards. Johannason has played Renaissance, which allows him to quickly cycle through his hand. So he wasn't happy with his first hand and he cycled through. But now we're off. Both players are playing cards. Both of them are generating energy, so this is the start of a combo. So we'll have to see what happens next. Khansus has gone up to 101 because he's playing a horror deck, which gets him health every time he plays a card, pretty much. So now, Johannason has played a Dragon's Daze, which forces a discard and attacks the high area. Khansus played a high attack, so actually took quite a lot of health off Johannason. Johannason is drawing a card. Meanwhile, Khansus is building up for his next attack. Right, so Khansus does a mid-attack. It's a mid-discard attack. He does 14 points of damage, forces Johannason to discard a card, and also discards one himself. So he's really forcing Joe to draw. He's not allowing him to have a hand that works. So now Johannason plays Dragon's Daze, which is a high discard attack, but it's blocked by the Latte Lash block of Khansus. And although horror decks don't give you particularly high block scores, they're perfect for blocking discard attacks. So Joe's now drawing, and meanwhile Khansus has launched a 6 sumo slap. Joe is now only on 62 health, so Khansus is pulling away here. The Renaissance allows Johannason to get a load more cards. He's discarded Dragon's Daze and Angelic Feint and Renaissance itself. Joe's up to 6 cards, so he draws again and discards Dragon's Daze. Meanwhile, Khansus is building up another combo. Joe draws again, discards Leg Smash this time. Khansus gets a Red Esquire Rip in, so really Khansus is getting a huge lead here while Joe is having to cycle through cards. So possibly those early discard attacks from Khansus have really disrupted Johannason and allowed Khansus to actually launch attacks now, while Joe is unable to put combos together. But now Joe's playing a card. He plays Poised Parry, which gets him a point of health. Khansus launches a Red Esquire Rip attack, which is a high attack, so isn't blocked by a Poised Parry, which blocks in the mid area. So once again Khansus has got an attack in. Joe plays Goblin Gimmick, which consumes 1 energy and gains him 2. So Joe is building up for a huge attack here, but it may be a little bit too late for him. We'll have to wait and see. Crunch, right, so Joe gets Cultist Cleave attack off. That's a high attack. It's partially blocked by 6 sumo slap, but some of it gets through because that only blocks 6 points of damage. 6 sumo slap does 10 points of damage to Joe, so he's on 24 health now. Khansus is now down to 98 because he took quite a lot of damage from that high attack. Now both players build up. Khansus gets a point of health back. Red Esquire Rip goes in from Khansus, dodges the mid block of Goblin Gimmick, so the high attack of Red Esquire Rip gets 14 points of damage off, and Khansus gets 4 points of regeneration back. Now the Cultist Cleave is launched again, 27 points of damage, 6 of those are blocked by the high block of Latte Lash, so Khansus is down to 82, but Joe's only on 10, and there it is, Crunch! The attack goes in, Khansus Ruml wins. He's a new player, but he's managed to defeat Joe, who's one of the better combat cards players, so that's very well done, Khansus, and he's going to win the Linden Dollar prize this week. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you play combat cards very soon. Bye!
You sucker.